Japan's second largest city, Osaka. In 2019, the Osaka Prefectural Police reported that 2,996 people died alone in their homes and were not discovered for at least 2 days since their death. 382 people were found dead 1 month after passing. Dying alone with no one to care for you is called Kodokushi in Japan, literally lonely death, and it is becoming a serious societal problem in recent years. There are many reasons for this, including an aging population, a growth in the number of people living alone, and weakened relationships between neighbours in general. The COVID pandemic also further exacerbated the problem, in particular increasing the number of isolated older people. The case in this particular video was recognized by the Times newspaper in November 2021 in an article written by Richard Lloyd Parry. It is just one example of a society-wide issue. The established journalist interviewed our employees who were at the deceased man's home and went on to describe the situation in Japan as extreme. There is still a lot to be revealed about Japanese society and what it is currently grappling with. There are the lonely deaths themselves, but the causes that led these people to these situations must also be examined. We will endeavour to give the wider world a raw, truthful look into this reality we face. There are huge numbers of these bugs. They are carrion beetles. I'm not sure what this is. I had to speak with the police to identify the body, but I was told I shouldn't come and see it. Decomposition of the body has advanced considerably, especially with these carrion beetles consuming it. Hello, I am Kamesawa of Kansai Clean Service. If you were faced with having your brothers or sisters discovered having passed away alone, needless to say, I'm sure it would be a huge shock. Our services were requested here today by the older brother of the person who lived here. The occupant of the property was his younger brother, who was in his 60s. The younger brother appears to have passed away on top of this bed here. At least a few months have passed since his death. The older brother who requested us could not emotionally handle entering this room, and that's why he has asked us to come in instead. Please have a look. This area is infested with insects. Normally in situations like these, you see a lot of flies and maggots. But in this room, there isn't even one. Instead of those, however, there are vast numbers of these bugs here. They are carrion beetles. In Japanese, it's shidemushi, as in insects that come out after death. Other names include burial ground insect, and also the forest cleaners as well. They mainly feed on decomposing flesh, and also the larvae of flies. Decomposition of this body has advanced considerably, and it looks like it was partly down to it being consumed by these beetles. I'm not sure what this here is. After a quick glance, it looks like fibers from the futon. But looking at the futon, it's not particularly broken down. I have a feeling it's something else entirely. The futon is stained with bodily fluids, feces and urine. Blood as well. It's been fully saturated. When my brother moved into this flat, our sister became his guarantor. We have one younger sister, so the police contacted her first. And then she contacted me. That's how I found out. The post-mortem examination determined that it had been about 3 months since he had passed away. The last time we spoke directly was around the end of January. We worked at the same company. Our actual workplace was different. But when he would come to work, we'd see each other. We'd check up on each other. My brother quit his job first and I continued to work at the same place. He quit in January this year. And at that point with COVID, we decided not to see each other in case we spread the virus. He was saying he'd like to move to a flat in a smaller building somewhere and live his life without stress. And once COVID has passed, he said he'd love to go and visit our hometown again. Then we told each other to take care. That was it. This chemical powder is used for disinfecting and sterilization. I'll be pouring this on here and will then remove it all together. This fluid disinfecting procedure eliminates strong smells and also reduces the risk of diseases spreading as we remove the material. We remove this decomposed matter in a bucket relay system. The frontline cleaning staff will clear it up and then pass it on to removal staff waiting outside. After which, the material will be passed on to another removals company to be incinerated. It would be dangerous if there was any risk of disease spreading anywhere in this process. That's why we conduct a full sterilization at this stage of disposal. Work has now been completed. I'll show you around inside. There was a folding bed here. The fluids from the body were soaked into the bed and into the frame of the bed as well. That's where he was when he passed away. The fluids had not quite reached the floor yet when we arrived. Was it determined that the cause of death was heat stroke? I see. It could have been the reason. It would be hard to tell after so much time had passed. Thank you very much for requesting our services. Thank you very much. I understand it was hard for you to enter this flat to start with. Yes, we saw the videos you put out of your company working in similar situations. And after some reading, finding out that the smell would be really awful. Especially if we were unable to forget the smell. I thought it might negatively affect us into the future. So we decided not to see it ourselves. Have you seen the body since its discovery? We spoke with the police about it to identify the body. And we were told it was better not to see it. These cases, generally speaking, are referred to as lonely deaths. And that's why it required our specialized cleaning. It seems in society more people are becoming isolated, and not only does this lead to lonely deaths, but it can also be as a result of bullying and domestic violence, and the number of people becoming isolated from society is growing rapidly. One of the aims of our company is to help put a stop to this. It does lead to us getting more work, but that really isn't a good thing. One of my hopes is that by watching this video, people will be reminded to check on those around them to see if they're okay. As you were so generous in cooperating with us to make this video, we will not be charging you for the work done here. That's incredible. Thank you so much. How did you feel after watching this? Kansai Clean Service provides specialized cleaning services for sites of lonely deaths, mainly in the central Osaka area. We always film with the special permission of the person who requested us. It may be shocking to see, but it is the reality we are now facing. We feel that knowing the truth is the first step in hopefully reducing the number of lonely deaths in the future. Thank you for watching.